Yo, yo. What's happening, party people? Ladies and gentlemen, you meme-loving freaks. What's poppin'? This is your boy, Davey Dave. And this is Memes, Power, Respect. I hope y'all are doing well. I know I am. Because I get to come and talk to you lovely people for a little while. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode. If you haven't checked it out, our first episode was pretty cool. It was with my friend, Raw Meat Experiment. If you have a chance to check it out, go check it out on YouTube. You can see him. He had a bunch to say. Also, he partook in some raw ribeye, and I think he sucked down like 6 or 7 egg yolks, raw eggs. So check him out on Instagram, Raw Meat Experiment. He's my homie. He's been my homie for, 6, 7 years, something like that, all online. It's the first time I met him, so check him out. Check out the last episode too. We had fun. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. This is number 2. And here we are back at the home base. And before we move any further, I just want to give a thanks to my sponsors. These guys have come through big time for me. They're encouraging me. They're, they're real supportive of what's going on. And so I just want to show them a little love. First of all, I want to thank Bolton's famous hot chicken and fish in East Nashville. I was there, I think last month. We were doing some work for Lifetime for a Christmas movie, and we had a chance to, tour the city, that kind of thing. But if you're ever in East Nashville, check out Bolton's famous hot chicken and fish. Phenomenal. The people there are great. Employees, it's a little small place, but big taste. So don't miss it. Bolton's famous hot chicken and fish in East Nashville. So thanks, guys. So if you have a shirt you want me to sport, send them to me. DM me. I'll hook it up. But so this podcast is actually brought to you by XL Towing. XL Towing is actually my friend too. So a lot of these guys have gotten built relationships with these guys over the years. So XL Towing has 15 years in the towing experience. XL Towing specializes in winch-outs, transports, lockouts, jump starts, recovery, light duty, heavy duty, and everything in between. So XL Towing services all of California and is Arizona certified. So contact XL Towing for all your towing needs at 909-498-9595 or 833-605-XLXL, and that is 24 hours a day. So thanks, XL Towing. Also, I want to give a big thanks to Fernandez New York Pizza, and here's Fernandez, one of my favorite pizza spots, actually one of my homies. So Fernandez New York Pizza is my favorite and my go-to place for authentic New York-style pizza. Visit in person at their Studio City location, located right near Universal Studios. It's like probably like a block away. Stop on by and enjoy a slice of happiness that tastes like it's right from New York. So Fernandez New York Pizza is located at 10604 Ventura Boulevard in Studio City. You can order online, in person, or call 818-762-2335. And call them so you can get that gooey goodness. Also brought to you by Lead Devil USA. Lead Devil USA provides the highest quality in tactical belts to the brave men and women on the front lines. Those who are saving lives daily, and to those who are fighting for our freedom. Lead Devil USA is all American made. They also have a law enforcement and military pricing available. So Lead Devil USA is tactically sound and always on point. Visit leaddevil.com or call 213-706-3148 to order today. Also brought to you by Mike Esterman and Flex Pro Meals. Flex Pro Meals is the meal prep delivery service you need. They are literally the Amazon Prime of meal delivery. Order today and get delicious meals delivered right to your door the next day. If you're counting macros, then this simple, quick, and delicious meal delivery is for you. Follow them at FlexProMeals on IG. Visit flexpromeals.com or call 816-888-3539 today to get your busy lifestyle nutrition on track. So thanks to you guys. I appreciate the love, appreciate the sponsorship and the friendship, of course. So stay tuned to see more from those guys. We got some giveaways coming up. We got some discount stuff. So stay tuned and we'll hook you up. So what I wanted to talk to you about today, I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown before we get into our next few guests. 1 second. All of a sudden I'm thirsty. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about who I am and where I'm coming from and what this podcast is really about. I think you guys got a taste of it last week, but basically what this podcast is just, it's me just, okay, so everyone has their thing, right? Everyone has their niche. Well, I'm, at this point in my life, I think that I do. And one of the things is that I do is, I'm an avid social media user. I'm an avid social media creator. That's kind of my thing. So everyone kind of, knows me as the meme guy, the social media guy, hey, make a meme of this, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's my thing. So this, I have other podcasts that I do. Also, I have Let's Get Into It, and I've got Irate Masterminds, which I do with my brothers, and they're fun. It's a whole different thing, whole different genre of podcasts, and the conversations are definitely different than the conversations that we're going to have on this podcast. But this podcast is basically highlighting all the social media creators, the meme creators, the viral people. People who are, have influence, who are influencing without even knowing it. People who have had some notoriety in regards to their story and why they're on social media. It's this kind of thing. So I hope that, that kind of tickles your fancy here. I think that I think I'm the first one that's actually interviewed meme creators and this kind of thing. In have a podcast dedicated to the people who are on social media actively, and that's their main outlet. So I know that I have a slew of guests coming up, some really good ones, and some really obscure ones too, which are really cool, and some mysterious ones. Some people don't want to be recognized, don't want their names being shared, that kind of thing. I mean, it's cool. That's a personal preference, and that's their thing. But for me, my name is David Dave, and I think I've been on social media since the MySpace days. I think maybe even before that. I think they had the thing called what was it called? I think it was Friendster. Yeah, I think it was Friendster. And then we moved into MySpace, had the layouts, the little CSS, HTML layouts. You had the music that was coming in. You had the little sparkles and shit. I didn't use the sparkles, but I used to see people use little sparkles on their layouts and had the music. I always had like a Wu-Tang track or something like that popping off every time you visit someone's page. So I don't know if everyone that probably not, but for anyone who didn't know, that's what used to happen. That was like the beginning of, the viral age in social media. Like people used to go off on MySpace, and it was pretty fun. It used to have a lot of what used to annoy me about MySpace was like if you friended one of the club promoters on there, like you would never hear the end of their club promotion. So like, it was just constantly on your wall. this and that. But other than that, I mean, having the friends and your top eight, I think it started with top eight and top 10. You can hack it to go to top 12. So there used to be all kinds of drama regarding that. Like if your friend pissed you off one day and they were in your top eight one week, you would bump them down to, top five instead of the top three. So that that was pretty funny. Uh, I don't know if they would do something like that today. I think a lot of people would get butt hurt over something like that. But it'd be pretty fun because I'm down with the pettiness too. I like that shit. But yeah, so MySpace was cool. And then it kind of just took off from there. Like I wasn't really too active on there. I mean, I knew everybody just because I come from a background of nightclub, and that's basically where I started meeting all my friends, like who started going, heavy on the MySpace and social media. Was in the nightclub scene. I used to manage a nightclub back in the day, and also DJ'd back in the day. And this was a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, so that's where it started. And then we moved into, I remember Vine was huge. I used to enjoy those little snippets. And a lot of people got big from that, which was cool to see because those people, I mean, I think they, like the early Vine creators, the video creators, they moved into a bigger space. I've seen a lot of them take on like TV movie deals, movie roles, stuff like that, which is really exciting to see because that's what I like to see from all this stuff, especially someone who's real creative and doesn't have any their personality comes through well on video, and it's just really cool to see. But yeah, uh, in regards to where I started, it was where I started getting active was in Instagram. I think it came out like in 2011, something like that. But I just remember that I used to make first of all, it was just a photo sharing app back then. Like you would just take a little photo and put a fucking dumbass filter on your beer on your counter, trying to make it look all artsy and shit. And you would try to do that with your meals, and then that kind of thing. And then you would take pictures of yourself. That's when the selfie started emerging, and you would those filters were they were hideous, but we loved it at the time. I know I used the hell out of those things, and just it just turned something that was basic into something basic with some spray paint on it. You know what I mean? So it was cool. It served its purpose for the time, and then it kind of evolved into for me, I was just started making funny memes. I used to see like the memes with the white text on the top, and then the white text on the bottom. Big old bold white letters with the black outline, impact font or something like that. Those were cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember like my favorite ones, but there was some that stuck out. If I see them, of course I recognize them. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was my thing. That shit used to make me laugh, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just started dabbling in those and making stupid shit while I was at work, because of course I did not want to be there at that time when I was heavy into social media, like into the Instagram. uh, I spent most of my time just trying to find ways to entertain myself other than doing my job. So, and I think that was the majority of the people who I was working with, anyways. Especially like I was working in an office, but we were a graphic design department, and so like I was actually like the what do you call it, the like art director, creative director kind of dude there. And so I was just basically telling everybody else what to do. So as long as they got their work done, I didn't give a fuck what they did. As long as the work was done, then I knew I was cool. So that's kind of how I just had a bunch of free time on my hands, and I just was doing everything to keep myself occupied, but doing my work. And so I was there making memes. I was there making funny videos. This goes back like long, 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 all the way down on my Instagram. And this goes back to like, I don't know, sheesh, 2012, 2013, something like that, when that stuff started getting popular and started getting traction and things like that. So it was fun. Um, People were like, "Hey, why are you posting this? Like, this is crazy. Like, why are you posting that? You're crazy." And then I was just like, "Well, I mean, it's my shit. I can post whatever I want. Like, I don't tell you, what you can post and what not to post on your thing." So it's kind of come to that kind of thing back then. But it was fine. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I had fun. It was the only thing that was keeping me active on social media. Other than that, like, it was pretty boring. Like, you would see the same, photos of people's lunch and dinner and, places that, just arty, shitty photos. And that was fine too, but, it was boring. I just wanted to spice it up a little bit. And, so I did. And coming through that, it just led into something else. Like I just started doing it consistently. Um, 5 likes, 10 likes, whatever it was. Like I just was like, oh, this is cool. And at that time, like there was really no gauge of how, of course, if you see somebody with like 100 likes or something, I think that was the goal. If you can hit 100 likes, then you know then you thought you were something. You know what I mean? It's like, ah, mom, you ain't got to work no more. I hit 100 likes on Instagram. You know what I mean? That was the good old days. Now it's turned into 100,000 likes. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you had 100 likes on something, then you were good. And I remember using like shitty hashtags and all kinds of shit, trying to gain exposure because people would tell you, oh, you gotta use hashtags and you gotta do that kind of thing, and you're gonna get more likes and more exposure. So that was the thing. So you would use like shitty hashtags and like like 50 of them. I don't know. I think it was like 30 hashtags. You could use like 30 hashtags at the time. I don't know how many you can use now. But yeah, that was the thing. You use some hashtags. You get the picture popping, and of course, like the likes would come in right away because people at that time were looking at those hashtags, those popular ones that everybody was using, and so they would pop up, and you would get people from like India liking it, and like Sri Lanka and all kinds of shit, like way obscure places. Like why would people like this photo of my pizza? I don't get it. Or like the shitty meme that I just made of me. You know what I mean? So it didn't make sense at the time, but it kind of grew into something that that uh, kind of gave me a little validation. If we're being frank, and if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, since it kind of showed me that you can do something that not a lot of people were doing at the time, and get some recognition for stupid shit. It kind of made it fun, and it kind of made it like a little contest within myself, and so that was cool. I just so it gave me the kind of, I don't want to say the fuel, but a little spark to go ahead and keep doing the stupid shit that I was doing while I was at work, while I was off of work on the weekends. So at one point, like I think it just kind of what do you say? It just became so consuming. It consumed me, and I just got caught up with it. And people thought it was a weirdo. I mean, I am a weirdo. Let's keep it real. But people thought I was even more of a weirdo because I was on Instagram. This new app that people were using, and people, not everybody had it, and they were like, "Hey, what is this?" And so they were like, "Why are you always on your phone? Why are you taking stupid shit? Why are you doing videos? Like, what is this?" And at the time, it was funny. Like, some of my friends knew what was going on, and they would just see it on, And I at that time, I didn't have any followers. I had, I don't know, 100 followers or 50 followers, something like that. And I was just like, well, I don't know, I just want to do it. It's entertaining for me. Like, just let me be the arty kind of creative dude that I am, and just let me. I'm a weirdo, so just let me have my fun. And so they were cool with it. And then years go by, and like you start gaining steam, and I was still posting like memes, but I was posting like personal stuff on the same page, because at that time, like, I think you can only have one account basically per phone. And so like I was just using my one account, the Davy Dave account, for everything. Like I was posting like Dodger pictures on there, and then I would post a meme, and then some pizza or some beer or something like that, or my vodka soda or something, some stupid shit in between. So everything was peppered in there, and that's kind of the way it was for a long time. And I was just like, you know what, like, let me just quit this, sharing photos of, my food and shit like that. Let me just concentrate on posting memes, because it seemed like everybody, was digging it. So, and I was having more fun doing that anyways, instead of, getting 10 likes for, showing a picture of your hand or something like that, or your car wheel. Uh, so it was that kind of thing. So it kind of took on a life of its own, and I just kind of rolled with it. And over the years, like, you just you get followers, and it just kind of built up a little bit, and it was fun. It was fun. It was kind of weird to see that you had an account that would grow so fast, over a few months, and then after it kind of peaked at one point, when there was really no, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 followers, something like that. And that was a lot for me back in the day. Like, I think for anybody at that time, um, because it was like, wow, this is really kind of unheard of. Like, because and at that point, like, I wasn't following any meme accounts. I didn't know any meme people. I didn't know anybody who else was doing this, especially where I live. Like, there was no one out here who was creating anything. And it's still kind of like that. Like, where I live, there's not really anybody. There's no creators out here. Maybe one or two that I know personally. But at that time, like, I had no idea what where these people were from, who they were. There was it would to search for them was kind of weird, because you had to know their names, you had to know their at, and so, like, I just kind of ignored it and just kind of did my own thing until like you start following people, and then I think it came underneath the suggested or something like that. I don't really remember how the app used to work so much, and thank God, because it was kind of clunky, and it was kind of boring. And so, like, making memes was kind of the only thing that made it fun. And, like, there was a lot of quirks with the old Instagram, but it was good times, good days. And then once I started seeing, like, other people started making memes, and kind of, I was like, oh, these guys are kind of like doing the same thing. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Because the only ones that I think I saw at the time were, like, on Facebook. And Facebook was weird at that time too. Like, it was just like, people were sharing all kinds of shit. It was kind of like the Wild West at that time, before even, like, Twitter was even more wild at that time. Like, you can post anything on Twitter. You can be whoever you wanted. You can post whatever you wanted. All kinds of raunchy memes, this and that. And it was I kind of got some stuff from there too, like some inspiration. But I wasn't really heavy on Twitter. It's like today I'm not really heavy on Twitter either. I mean, I'll go on there and peruse and see what's up. See the current events, and people talking shit. But it's not the same anymore. Either is Instagram. But after I started seeing these people, like, on Facebook, then I started looking them up on Instagram and Twitter, and I started looking them up on Instagram. And I kind of found these guys, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's one or two that and really it was only like one or two or three people that I was following that were doing the same thing. All the rest of them were my friends, that I was following. So I would see, like, I don't know, one or two memes a day, from my the people who I was following. And of course, there was mine. And that's all. That was the extent of it. And I really didn't understand this would do anything. At that time, I was just really just having fun. I was just fucking around. I was just making stupid shit up. And if it was cool, if it was cool with me, like, I posted it. I didn't care. Like, I just moved on and post, and then move on to the next one, and think of some other shit that I was gonna do next time. So Um, and it wasn't until I think, man, I want to say like 2000, 2014 or something, 2013, where I came in when I actually, I think I went to New York or something like that to go visit one of my friends. And like by that time, like Instagram, like I don't think at that time I was already like at 20 something K followers, something like that. And I was doing the consistent memes or something, you know, stupid shit, just keeping going. And I think that by that time, like there was a little, and this is like the most stupid term that I've ever heard that I'm ever going to use is like there was like a meme community at that time. Like it's so cringe to say a meme community because it kind of, it's just it's ridiculous. But at that point, there was like a little group of people who were like making memes, and like by that time I was following, you know, a nice little handful of them, and they were following back, and so it was kind of cool. So you kind of feed off each other, and you know at that time we didn't really talk to. I don't even think they had DMs at that time. So like you were just like talking to each other in the comments, you know, seeing, you know, basically just having conversations in the comments. And I don't think it had DMs at that time. But yeah, those are the good old days. So anyway, so I think I went to New York, I with my friend, and I met, you know, I met some people who were big on Instagram at that time. Like, you know, I think I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Fat Jew. At that time, I think I don't know how big he was, but he was a lot bigger, and he just so happened to you know be homies with that guy online, you know, for a little while, and you know meet that guy, and you know I was like, oh okay, this is, and then I kind of seen what they were doing out there, and like you know it's a way different scene in New York than it is out here, so but you know you kind of, I don't want to say get inspired, but yeah they kind of give you, you know, another spark on in regards to that creativity. You know what you can do for stupid shit, make memes out of basically anything. You know what I mean? Like I've seen the most obscure memes that don't make sense that make me laugh. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. So you know, I had to. I think at that time I was like thinking too hard, you know, and it was trying to, you know, force memes and that kind of thing, and I was getting kind of burnt out. But you know, I think at that time, like 2014 or something like that, I started. I said, "Oh, okay, cool." Kind of caught my breath, and you know, got my second wind, and then you know, started getting more creative and doing my own shit. And you know, at that time, I think you know you were reposting people's stuff, and there was a lot. There was a handful of meme accounts that I was reposting because at that time, like we were following each other. It was all good to, you know, use each other's stuff, and you know, and that was cool. That was the good old days when it was nice and civil and you know calm on the on Instagram. And then sorry, I'm drinking water. Um, but then it kind of turned into something else. Like I think like shit, 2016, something like that. Instagram started growing really fast, and even for me, and it kind of turned into this weird time. Like everything, it felt so frantic. It just felt frantic. It felt like everybody was running around, you know, like a bunch of chickens without heads. And I kind of got caught up in that a little bit, but I kind of stayed in my own lane like I usually do. And I kind of just played to myself. Of course, I was making friends. You know, of course, Raw Meat Experiment met him and a few others back in the day. Um, like there was, we were talking about like a group chat that we had back in the day. I think it was about that time, like 2016, something like that. It was Raw Meat Experiment, like Shithead Steve, uh, My Therapist Says, Tank Sinatra. Who else was in there? Mo Wad was in there. Friend of Bay, which is Middle Class Fancy. Let's see who else was in there. Oh, Grape Juice Boy, Sunny Side Up. Yeah, all the OG accounts. We were all in there, you know, talking shit and throwing around ideas. You know, saying, you know, And at that time, it was getting a little more streamlined in regards to what Instagram was and how valuable it was becoming, and we all kind of had the like mind, and it was interesting to see like the perspectives of, say, like a My Therapist Says meme in regards to something that I had made, and that we would give each other feedback, and we'd send stuff in the group chat and say, hey, check this out, hey, what do you think about this, or hey, and it even turned into like, hey, I'm gonna be posting something at 5 o'clock, and you guys go like it and comment, blah blah blah. And it was cool to have the homies chime in on your stuff, and you like it and you say, okay, cool, and then you kind of hook everybody up, and you got bigger accounts commenting and liking your shit, which was really cool. And I think that was a big key back then to a lot of some exposure. And then they share. I think we had like a thing too where we'd share each other's shit. Like I'd make one for Monday, and then everybody would post it on Monday, and then like Shithead Steve's would be like on Tuesday, Sunny Side Up on Wednesday, and we would all repost all the same shit. So it kind of worked out like that. And we kind of made a little system for a little while. And this was at the time where it was getting frantic. And when I say frantic, I mean like there was like all kinds of meme creators that were like, they were like, man, it was kind of ugly at that time because they were like preying on your memes and like all up in your shit. And like you see them everywhere that you had no idea who they were, but they were everywhere. Like they were commenting and liking photos and like, which is cool. I mean, like for me, that's not my style. My style is to do my own thing, chill, post when I want to post. Like I'm not gonna go like everybody's picture. If I miss it, I miss it. Like, what do you want me to do? Come on, let's keep it real. But there were, and as much as I was on, Instagram and social media at the time, like, for me to miss something, it was like, oh, well, fuck it, I missed it. What are you gonna do? But there was like people who were like commenting like rude shit, like, just it was just a weird time. People were frantic, running around on the fucking Instagram, just talking shit, saying that, that's not an original idea, this and that. So it kind of turned into this whole thing, and this like people were getting crazy. And there was like at that point there was like a boom, like of meme accounts, meme creators, so to speak. And that's where it kind of got weird. And like I was just like, dude, this is wild. And that's kind of why from what I remember, and maybe someone can fill me in. One of the guys that I'm going to talk to pretty soon, maybe they can fill me in. Why we started the group chat is because it kind of turned into, you know what? Like there's so much going on in regards to the Instagram memes and this kind of shit that we're posting. Like let's streamline it, let's help each other out, and let's get it organized. And so I was like, you know what? Hey, fuck it, I'm down with that. That makes sense. Fuck it, let's do it. And it kind of worked out. And it kind of kept me. I want to say it like, and this. Listen, take all this that I'm telling you, like with what can I say, with a grain of salt in regards to how I'm talking about Instagram, because like it all sounds ridiculous to talk about memes and this whole bullshit, like and how it started and this kind of thing. But this is the truth, man. Like at this point, like we all had jobs, like we all had day jobs, and kind of memes and Instagram was like our escape and our go to. And so like and there was some who were already like getting offers from different companies and things like that to post ads and to make memes and stuff like that. So it was ramping up for a group of us, and we kind of caught on, and that's kind of how we stayed grounded, and how we avoided like the the spectacle of being a meme creator. And so it kind of helped. It kind of helped. And from them, listen, with all due respect to all those guys, I learned a lot from them. I respect all these guys that I've known before. I made a lot of friends on the internet. Some I've never met before, who I have great relationships with. I've never shook their hand. I've never looked them in the eye, But I know if I call them today, like they'll do me a solid, and it's amazing. Like John, I met him recently, and I haven't never met him. I've known him for 7 8 years, something like that, and it was just amazing that something like that can come about. But anyways, so that was our little group, and it really helped, and it was cool because we started getting deals from companies and that kind of thing. And once that started happening, we started going off on our own because that's usually what happens, anyways. They start concentrating on their own business and their own thing. Some get bigger than others, and some get big deals, some get small deals, some get medium deals. And it was a cool thing to see. And from that point until like today, there's some that are like huge, huge. Like well, basically all the guys who I'm talking about really, they've grown to exponentially, and it's really really amazing to see. And especially like Raw Meat Experiment that's come up so fast, so quick. His growth and his engagement on his page, and but he's had a knack for that. And like Tank Sinatra, he's grown super huge. My Therapist says they've got a couple pages that have over 2 3 4 million, maybe 10 million combined, something like that. So it was really cool to see. They were at the Met Gala a few weeks ago. It's amazing. It's amazing. So for me, I've got a few deals, that put me in a position where I could really just concentrate on making stuff and making memes. And it was really interesting. And at the same time, like I was still working in the hospitality, like a nightclub. And this was already, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, something like 5 6 years, something like that ago. I was still doing that, and I was making memes and I was making deals, which was really cool. I made a couple big deals, which actually the couple big deals that I had made back in the day, like in 2017. I think at the beginning of the year, I had two pretty sizable ones, which was really cool. It really helped out. I made a lot of money from those. Uh, but at that time, I was working, and at the time too, like my dad had got sick, and he had some stuff going on, so it allowed me to spend more time with my family, that kind of thing. I kind of wasn't concentrating on the job so much, and I kind of let it go, because I was like, well, I'm taken care of in other ways, and I can pretty much just be here and be around. So whenever I was needed, or whenever I felt like being there for my dad and my mom, of course, and my brother. But so it was that kind of thing, and from there it kind of grew into something where I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going, and kind of got over the hump of that frantic chicken without a head stage. I kind of really just ignored everybody on the all the meme creators and that kind of thing. I stayed in my own lane. I wasn't kissing ass to nobody, and that's kind of how I work everything, anyways. I always just stay in my own lane. I really just do my own thing. I don't really care about what everybody else is doing, because it really does. At the end of the day, like, no one gives a shit about what the fuck you're doing. Like, I can die tomorrow, and like, the show's gonna go on. There's gonna be memes and shit, TikToks and reels posted, day, millions a day, and that's just how it goes. And it's reality. Reality is that the show goes on, and really, people at the end of the day really don't give a fuck about you. They're gonna say that they do. Your family may, your friends may, but they have to live their lives. They have to do their jobs, and the show must go on. And I learned that a long time ago too. Like, I dealt with some death and in my family, and some hurt. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I'm not gonna really just concentrate on anything. I was really stressed out about a bunch of stuff. I was very anxious. Let me just do something. Let me do one thing. And I think that was the thing. It kind of eased my anxiety to a point. Um, it made me feel like I was worth being on the internet. And it was kind of one of those things that it was an escape from reality, because online you can be whoever you want. Pretty much we see it every day. We see influencers who have no business being influencers. In some of our opinions. In my opinions, yes, of course, but people who make stupid shit, still stupid videos, like some of the stuff that is online, like it's just ridiculous. Like, what do you? Come on, it's stupid. Let's keep it real. But people like it. There's always going to be someone for something for someone. And so, even if it's the dumbest thing to you, it's going to hit for someone else. Just like the raw meat experiment. Like, it's not for everybody, but first of all, it's entertaining. First of all, he's a great guy. Second, it's entertaining, and third, like there's people who love that stuff, like they're all about it, and there's some people who really hate it, who think it's the dumbest shit ever. Like, I've shown it to my friends. It's like, what the fuck is this guy? Is he okay? Like, does he need counseling and stuff like that? I think I said, well, I think we all need counseling. Anyone who's making, you know, spends a lot of time on social media like we do, like, we're kind of not okay in the head. You know what I mean? And it was like that for a little while too. Um, and but there's something for everyone. So it's just one of those things that it just grew into, and here we are today. Like, um, you know, it's just a weird thing to be. And it sounds stupid for me to say, like, you have a platform to do things and to have your voice heard, and like everyone's gonna see it, which is true. But because a lot of us have, and listen, like, I sound ridiculous saying this shit, but like, we have a lot of celebrities following us, people that you guys know really well, like ask us questions, and want to be a part of this and that. And it's really weird. It's like, it's surreal in a way. But you know what? At the end of the day, like, we're all, um, you know, I've come to know these people, a few of them quite close. And at the end of the day, like, listen, we're really all the same, man. We all have the same insecurities. We want the same validations. We have the same concerns. We have families. We have bills and rent and social issues, and these kinds of things that are prevalent in today's world and our everyday life. And it's just weird, man. Like, sometimes you connect with people more than others, and you know what? Like, I've had the privilege of connecting with some people who have actually taken me under their wing and have showed me, some things that I never thought I'd learn, and especially like this fast. And it's really awesome to see, and kind of social media just paved the way for all of this stuff. And it's one of these things that I'll never understand why it came about, but it doesn't matter. And I'm just grateful to be in the position that I'm in, able to do the things that I'm in. At this point, like, I don't have a 9 to 5. I do things on my own. I work for myself, and I do work for others. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong, but I work for myself. But a lot has to do with um, just staying in my own lane, minding my business, and not really sucking anyone's dick, because I've seen it happen. And I've seen, I said, I just don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? And I've seen it happen. And it's kind of embarrassing. Like, in the literal sense, this is like, man, people are just doing way too much. And this is like, it's so apparent to a lot of people in the meme scene that we've seen do stuff. It's just like, oh man, like, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, I would never be caught doing something like that. And and that's kind of my thing, anyways. Like, I just do my own shit. But I do want to give a um, well, no, we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll there's a few people that I would mention, but I'm gonna keep that for myself. But yeah, they've allotted me the opportunities to do a lot of things that I would normally have been able to do. They're very like-minded. They're part of the same. You know, we're raised the same way, same style, same neighborhoods. Of course, cities apart, but same way of life. Values and morals, that kind of thing. And then we're kind of we got caught up in the meme scene, together, and it's led to opportunities for me, which I'm just thankful for. But so moving on from that. So it's just a little background of how we came about and how I got here, and this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing this podcast because I wanted to do this podcast back in January. I wanted to start it back in the beginning of the year, but I had got I got that OG Bill Gates COVID bullshit, which it put me down for. I actually got it really bad, and it took me out for I don't know shit. At least a couple months, to be honest with you. I was sick for a little while, but like the recovery was insane. Like there was a point where like I could barely get off the couch. It was very difficult to breathe. It was hard doing everyday stuff like taking a shower. It was tough, man. But that's when I wanted to start it. I wanted to start this podcast back in the beginning of the year. But of course, for me, I always know that there's a reason for everything. So I'm not really tripping on that. It's just I'm concentrating on today, and that I'm able to do it today, and that I'm here to be able to do this for me and for you guys. Because to be honest with you, I need this podcast, and it was, there people do podcasts about everything. You can find people about, electronics and crime and, everything under the sun. And to be honest with you, this is like I have another podcast, I Rate Masterminds, that I do with my brother and Travis. But and it's a different thing. We've talked to a lot of people that we know. It's kind of just it's kind of like a group chat. Basically, that's what it is our podcast is just a group chat. Like all the things that you would say in the group chat, we're saying them out loud. So I mean, we have a lot of fun with it, and we've been a lot of places, and we've had some cool guests and stuff like that. But it's just this one's just a little different. Like the niche is a little different. This is concentrating on everybody who basically it's about everybody who's on my shit, on my social media, on my Instagram, who follows me, who I follow. All the people that I get inspiration from. All the people who make me laugh. And this is what it's for. It's to put the spotlight on them, and who the people that I fuck with are. So this is what this podcast is about. Also, it's also it's a therapy point for me, and it's either you have a podcast or you're going to therapy, right? But so this is what I got. I got a podcast. You know what I mean? And that's cool. People hate on people who do podcasts and bullshit like that, but for me, this is an outlet, man. Like I'm not able to speak anywhere else. I'm a very introverted kind of guy. Like my private life is private as fuck. People don't know a lot about me, which is fine. I mean, I don't put it out that way. Like, I want everybody to know everything about me because, I feel like I lose myself a little bit. I lose kind of a bit of my soul every time that, that I'm available online to people's objections and approvals and that kind of thing. So it kind of takes a toll. But I just stay to myself, and this is therapy for me, man. Talk shit all you want. This is the podcast that nobody needed. To be honest with you, like nobody needs this shit, but you know what? I do. You know what I mean? Like it's just something for me. It's something that I wanted to do. It's something that I wanted to talk about. It's something that I know stuff about. And so it just makes sense. It just made sense to me. And, I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'll do it as long as I can, to be honest with you. As long as everybody will have me, like, I'm down. So, I think it's just it's a platform for me to be myself, It's not the easiest talking to yourself, to be honest with you, especially in front of a camera. Like you're just, it's word vomit, to be honest with you. But I think I'm able to see who I am, and be able to be a little vulnerable, um, to you guys, and let you know where I'm coming from, and I'm just not somebody with an account or like 50 accounts that just is on Instagram just to be on Instagram, which is fine. But it's something for me. But I appreciate everybody who's listening, and who's tuned in to the YouTube. We've had a pretty good response so far. I'm thankful for the sponsors who are like, they're giving me stuff just to do it, and they're encouraging me. This is really cool. So, but that's just a little backstory of where I came from, what I'm doing. Of course, if you guys have questions, DM me. We can talk about it. If I miss your DM, don't hate me, but I'll try to answer some stuff. But this is where we're at now. But of course, there's so much to talk about. I just wanted to give you guys an overview and a backstory of what went on, and a little bit of my life for the past 10 years or so, like that, in regards to social media, Instagram, especially because that's where I'm heavy on. I've met some great friends. I've met some great people. I've met up with great souls, in real life, just because of Instagram. And it's amazing because these are people that I would have never met. I would have never known what they were about. And they say that, strangers are, what do they say? Strangers are friends that you've never met yet, right? Or something like that. But anyway, so, it's made me a better person in regards to learning from them, and learning, people's insecurities online. And, you kind of take to people who are kind of like you. And I know that, like, the meme people, like, we all struggle with a lot of the same stuff. And, we make a lot of, like, or we used to, a lot of us used to make, like, depression memes, and like alcohol memes, and like, partying memes, and that kind of thing, because it was all relevant, and it all makes sense. It made sense back then. But it's changed a little bit. We switched up the dialogue a little bit, which is cool because it's more positive now. And it's more fitting to what we're doing these days. But I'm with it. I'm with it. But I think I'm going to leave you guys for now. But I do want to tell you guys a little bit, like, who I follow, and like my favorite accounts. And I know I'm gonna leave people out, but we'll get to it. This is just stuff up off the top of my head. So this whole episode has been off the top of my head. So just thanks for hanging in there. I know we're already, the time flew, and already it's like an hour. But of course, there's like the OG, of course, Raw Meat Experiment. He's got Cabbage Cat memes. We've got the Blessed One, which is my friend Chris. We've got Grape Juice Boys, Sunny Side Up, My Therapist Says. Those are my favorite ones. Also, like, I think that my 2000 since like 2020 has been Foos Gone Wild. Those guys, there's something else, man. Like, and shout out to those guys because they put something up that not only that I can relate to, and like, laugh at and laugh about. But they pulled a whole community of like Hispanic and people together through social media, where honestly, like, we didn't really have anything to call our own. And I think that Fool's Gone Wild, because if you didn't know, like, I'm Mexican myself. Of course I'm mixed, but I'm half Spanish, half Mexican, and so like something like that, like, it speaks to me, like, when I was saying, like, growing up, and like these are all the things that we've seen, and like that I've seen growing up, and I can relate to so much, like all the drunk tios, and like the swap meet, Santa Fe Springs, and going to all the taco shops, and like just stuff. It's crazy, man. If you haven't had a chance to check out Fool's Gone Wild, check them out, because they're not only speaking to the Hispanic community now, but they're speaking to like a whole different, they're speaking to white people, black folks, and they're very inclusive in regards to race. Like, they don't want to, they hate lames, they hate racists, which of course, nobody likes lames and racists. So, but check them out, man. They make me laugh on the daily. They post funny videos, back to back to back, and it's just something that I can jive with all day and watch them. So, you got the funny voiceovers, and it's just something that I enjoy. So if you want to check out these guys, so Blessed One, Fools Gone Wild, Raw Meat Experiment, Grape Juice Boys, the Blessed One, those are my guys, man. Like, I think that the internet is a better place with all these people on it. So, of course, there's Middle Class Fancy, my guy too. Check out Middle Class Fancies. It's like the white version of Fools Gone Wild, to be honest with you. But yeah, so anyways, let me know what you think. If you want to watch the YouTube, check it out. Memes, Power, Respect on YouTube. Check out the Raw Meat Experiment. He was on there last week. So we have some cool guests coming up. We have some good meme creators. We have some brand new meme creators that have blown up within the past couple months over this years. We've got some influencers that we're going to talk to. We've got some people who are on social media who are part of something that have been, in the news and, over the years that you've heard of. So actually, you've talked to these people, and they're down to get on. So that's amazing for me and for you guys, because I think everyone has a story to be told. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank XL Towing, of course. I want to thank Fernandez New York Pizza. I want to thank Lead Devil USA. I want to thank Esterman and Flex Pro Meals. And if you guys feel like it, go ahead and leave a review and go rate the podcast on wherever your podcasts are, like Apple Podcasts. Check it out. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think Anchor. So, check us out next week. This is your boy, Davey Dave. This is Memes, Power, Respect. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.